It's Christy Karate and the Land of Oz. And that is the open studio on Zoom. And so today I'm going to tell you a little story and then share what that antidote means and answer a couple of maybe questions that are up around how this work works. So there was a young woman in her 20s and she traveled the world. And eventually she was tired and ready to go back home. And she was at her last stop before she went home. And she was kind of a backpacker, right? So she's sitting in her seat, waiting for them to, board the plane. And she's got her backpack, two backpacks, one that she carries over, the big backpack, and then kind of more like the purse. And she goes to get her ticket to get ready to board the plane. And she can't find her ticket. And she starts freaking out. And she starts pulling everything out of her suitcase, just like pulling it out, looking down every little nook and cranny. Now remember, she's been traveling for a year, so imagine the stuff in her backpack, right? And people around her started trying to help her look for it. They told her, check your coat pockets, and they looked through the backpacks themselves. And one person went up to the counter and says, her name's on the ticket. She's got her driver's license. I mean, can't she get on anyway? I mean, isn't there anyway? This poor girl's going home, right? And they go, no, we can't do anything without the ticket. So she finally resigns herself to the fact that she's not going home now. She's going to have to figure this out and take it out. And everybody else she said, thank you, everybody, for helping me. But would you do me one last favor? Would you just watch my stuff while I go to the bathroom? And she stands up to go to the bathroom, and there is her plane ticket sitting under her. And the whole reason for this story is that hopefully you can already guess, but it's that we have everything within us that we need. And we're just sitting on it. And we do have to get up off our little fanny and get moving in order to have our good, to have that already exists in our lives. So a lot of times that's a little bit of what happened when the movie The Secret came out, and people just started making vision boards and just looking at their vision boards, and a lot of people got disappointed because it didn't work for them. And they're like, wait, you told me if I made a vision board, looked at it every day, it would come true. But there are the action steps we have. So we're kind of on both spectrums here, where like we have everything that we need, and we have to take the action steps to bring that into our lives. So one of the things that came to my attention is kind of the idea of setting the same intention over and over again. So with that antidote, what would I say? You already have your results. You're just sitting on it. So what does that mean? What do you do about that? How do you make a change around that? Well, you ask yourself, this is probably where I would go, because I would go even deeper with this question and say, if this isn't working for me, some erroneous thoughts must be keeping me back. There must be some beliefs that are still lying in my subconscious, some, and even status quo beliefs that are keeping me from succeeding at my intention. If I'm doing the work, why isn't it happening? And one of the things that I just did actually was there's a huge status quo thought that we have to work hard, and that we're sinners, and that we should feel shame, and if we look at it, this comes from the origin stories of so many different cultures. And being in this culture, I've seen it. And my father was a Christian minister when I was growing up, and so I know the Adam and Eve story, right? And it was like all of a sudden she experienced shame because she took a bite of the apple. She did something that was wrong, something that was out. And I actually this weekend I was at a retreat, so I had a lot of good down thinking time. And I started thinking, what if we had been told a different story, like from the beginning, about how life existed? Because actually, all of that I just mentioned, the shame, the sin, all of that, it's a status quo belief that in every culture that has those same kind of origin stories, that's where it started. And even if we're not Christian or we don't believe in the origin story, it's everywhere in the ethers. And unless we realize that, we have we have to we are still a part of that status quo belief. It just gets in us without a specific awareness. So I wrote a story, an origin story, that like Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve's children came into the world, and they were provided with, they looked around this beautiful Garden of Eden, and they had everything they could want. They want for nothing. And then they started enjoying the fruits of everything that was there. And the dad found that he liked to go out fishing, and the kids loved to go out fishing with him. And then the mom loved taking things from nature and putting them together to make additional beauty around her. And then the daughter and the kids liked helping with that. And then the daughter decided that she liked foraging too, and she started creating, mixing different foods together and things like this. And then the boy decided that he wanted to beautify their place that they lived, and it's like, and everything, they were provided and given everything. Now, actually, that's true. There is nothing that we lack for other than when we have forgotten who we are, and the predecessors, our ancestors and everything, that forgot who they were, that they were in the flow of the omnipotence, I love that word, omnipotence of the divine, that it is everywhere in and through and as all things, and everything's provided for us. But somehow when we forget who we are, we create discord and struggle. So when we're looking at our intentions and we have a specific, and I would say a lot of times we have to look at the greater vision rather than the goals. But it's like, what is it that we are looking for? What is it that we are wanting to move towards? And how can we fully believe in that? So I'm going to take, for instance, if let's say that you want to lose weight. And so your intention is to eat healthy and to do the things that allow you to lose weight. And you get frustrated after a course of time that it's a slow process. It's really slow. But what I would propose is to look and say, what is it that I really would love? It's not losing the weight. That's like actually wanting the plane ticket to get home. It's not losing the weight. What is the results that you want to experience? Now, as most you know that are hanging out with me, I love purple, and so wearing nice clothes that are purple, and what happens when you are a lesser weight than I happen to be, you find more purple clothing. So an intention might be more of the result, something like that. And this is more of a goal than the vision. I'm going to get to the vision in a minute, but it might be something like, and I write these types of things in my vision, that I love going in. See, it's got to have the feeling tone. I love going into the nice shop down in Santa Rosa and walking in and finding so many things that I just get to try on, and they fit so nice, and I look so good, and it makes me feel happy. It's part of my creativity to dress myself in this way. So I'm not talking about losing weight. I'm not talking even about being thinner. I'm talking about like what an exciting thing it is to go, and it's a creative thing for me. So, and then we want to look at the bigger vision. And this is why we do a vision that's 3 to 5 years out, because it needs to be something that stretches our nervous system to the point where it's just above. Like, I don't tell people to go out and do the most outrageous things, right? It's like look at the level of your nervous system, like how I feel. And a lot of it has to do with what you're experiencing now, and push it up just a little bit above what you believe is easy right now. So, and then it is always the feeling tone. It is a suit that you can step into, like an executive woman that goes off to work and she puts on her executive suit and picks up her briefcase and she feels it. That's what a vision is like. My vision of my creative professional wear is flowy and creative and purple. And so when you look at a vision, it's beyond the goals. And it's like, what would I love 3 years from now? And tell the story. Tell the story of that, and then feel the feeling of that and put it on as if it's happening right now. Okay. And then the other work that you can do is, okay, if that's not happening, what are some of the underlying beliefs that I need to let go of that I don't even know are running me? And they may not even be mine in particular. It may be status quo beliefs. So think about your vision and look at the goals and the steps to make it towards those, but stay in the work, stay in the practice. And I guarantee you will have not only shifts in this example, the weight, but in your life, the beauty of your life. Okay?